When most people think of Cambodia, they imagine Angkor Wat glowing under a golden sunrise, or tuk-tuks weaving through streets warmed by the Southeast Asian sky. But the real Cambodia? It's wilder, stranger, and far more unbelievable than you've ever been told. Here, a single pink curtain hanging in a doorway can mean, "Our daughter is ready for marriage." In remote villages, the most beautiful women are quietly chosen, and marked with a secret tattoo no outsider is meant to notice. And high in the mountains, teenage girls are given their own private huts, just to explore love. Sounds like a folktale, right? Except every bit of it is real. This is Cambodia, a place where ancient rituals still pulse through everyday life, where beauty can be both a blessing and a danger, and where traditions you've never heard of shape the rhythm of the streets. Stay with me, because we're about to dive into 18 shocking facts you'll never believe about Cambodia. And I promise, fact number 5 will change the way you think about love forever. Number 18. Cambodia, the cultural bridge of Southeast Asia. If Southeast Asia were a grand tapestry, Cambodia would be the golden thread running through it. Wedged between Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam, and kissed by the Gulf of Thailand to the south, this small nation sits at the very heart of the region, both geographically and culturally. For centuries, Cambodia has been a crossroads. Merchants from India and China once drifted up its rivers, carrying silk, spices, and new ideas. French colonialism left behind tree-lined boulevards and crumbling villas, while Buddhist stupas rise alongside Hindu temple ruins. Even its language, Khmer, carries echoes of Sanskrit, a reminder of ancient ties to the Indian subcontinent. Stand in Phnom Penh's bustling markets and you'll hear a blend of tongues, Khmer, Vietnamese, Chinese, even English, all intermingling like the aromas of lemongrass and grilled fish in the air. Its cuisine is a reflection of this blend too, coconut-rich curries from the south, tangy soups reminiscent of Vietnam, and spices that trace their roots to centuries-old Indian trade. But here's the thing, while Cambodia is open to the world, it fiercely guards its traditions. And some of these customs are so deeply rooted that breaking them is unthinkable. Which brings us to the next fact. In Cambodia, there's one part of the body so sacred that touching it can be seen as a spiritual offense, even between friends. Number 17, never touch a Cambodian's head. Ever thought a friendly pat on the head was harmless? In Cambodia, it's a huge no-no. The head is considered the most sacred part of the body, believed to house a person's spirit and life force. This belief comes from centuries-old Buddhist traditions, where the head is seen as the highest, both physically and spiritually. Touching it, even in a playful way, is viewed as deeply disrespectful. It doesn't matter if it's a child, a close friend, or even a stranger. Cambodians will take offense. So, what should you do instead? Greet with a warm smile or the traditional Sampeah, placing your palms together in front of your chest and bowing slightly. If you're visiting temples, the rule becomes even stricter. Monks' heads are especially off-limits, and women should avoid any physical contact with monks altogether. The takeaway? In Cambodia, respect starts at the top, literally. Keep your hands away from someone's head and you'll avoid one of the quickest ways to offend without even realizing it. Number 16, ghost money for the afterlife. Ever seen someone set money on fire and actually smile about it? In Cambodia, this isn't waste, it's love. Known as ghost money or joss paper, these are special sheets printed to look like currency, sometimes even styled like US dollars, gold bars, or luxury goods. The belief is simple yet powerful. When you burn ghost money, you're sending wealth, comfort, and blessings to relatives who have passed away, so they can live well in the afterlife. You'll see this especially during Pachum Ben, Cambodia's Festival of the Dead, when families gather at pagodas to honor ancestors. They bring offerings of food, incense, and stacks of ghost money, setting them alight so the smoke carries their gifts into the spirit realm. It's not just about money. Some people burn paper houses, cars, clothes, or even iPhones. The afterlife, after all, should be as comfortable as possible. To outsiders, it may seem strange to burn what looks like real cash, but for Cambodians, it's a way to bridge the gap between the living and the dead, showing that love and generosity don't stop at the grave. In their eyes, every flicker of flame is a message. We still remember you. We still care. Number 15. Sampeah, the unique greeting. Forget the handshake or casual wave. In Cambodia, your greeting says everything about respect, status, and even spirituality. The Sampeah isn't just a hello, it's a cultural handshake with layers of meaning. You place your palms together in front of your chest, bow slightly, and adjust the height of your hands depending on whom you greet. For friends or equals, the palms meet at chest level. When greeting elders, the hands rise to the chin. For monks or highly respected figures, they reach the nose or forehead. And if you meet the king, the hands go even higher, paired with a deeper bow. Every level reflects the deep Cambodian value of respect for age, wisdom, and social hierarchy. It's not just about manners, it's a visible expression of humility and connection. Tourists often get it wrong, offering a casual handshake to someone who expects a Sampeah. But if you take the time to learn it, you'll earn instant smiles and admiration. In Cambodia, the Sampeah reminds you, respect isn't something you say, it's something you show with your whole body. And here, even the smallest bow can speak volumes. Number 14. The seven-headed Naga origin story. Imagine getting married, and your bride turns out to be a giant serpent princess. That's exactly how one of Cambodia's most famous legends begins. According to ancient Khmer mythology, the first Cambodian king was an Indian prince named Preah Thong. While traveling, he met and fell in love with a mysterious woman, Savannah Maka, a Naga princess. Her father was the mighty Naga king, ruler of an underwater realm. The Naga king agreed to the marriage, but on one magical night, he revealed his full power. He drained the waters covering Cambodia, creating dry land for his daughter and her new husband to rule. The seven-headed Naga you often see carved into temple railings, especially at Angkor Wat, represents this powerful serpent lineage. In Khmer culture, it's more than just a mythical creature. It's a symbol of protection, prosperity, and the sacred union that gave birth to the Khmer people. Next time you visit a Cambodian temple and see a majestic serpent balustrade, remember, you're looking at the stone reminder of a royal wedding between man and myth. From underwater kingdoms to land fit for an empire, that's one wedding gift hard to top. Number 13. The lake that reverses direction. Imagine a river so unpredictable it changes direction like a mood swing. Welcome to Tonle Sap Lake in Cambodia, the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia. Here's the mind-bending part. Twice a year, the lake's connected river, the Tonle Sap River, literally reverses its flow. During the dry season, water drains from the lake into the Mekong River, shrinking Tonle Sap's size. But when the monsoon rains arrive, the Mekong swells so much that it pushes water back into the lake, causing it to expand up to 5 times its normal area. Entire floating villages rise and fall with these seasonal shifts, and locals adapt their lives to this watery rhythm. And here's the twist. This isn't just a quirky natural event, it's a lifeline for millions. This seasonal reversal creates one of the world's most productive freshwater fisheries. The floodwaters bring nutrient-rich sediment, feeding countless species of fish, which in turn feed people across Cambodia. Without this phenomenon, the country's food security and economy would take a massive hit. It's not just a lake, it's a natural clock, ticking with the heartbeat of the monsoon, and a reminder that sometimes going against the flow is exactly what keeps life thriving. Number 12. Stilt houses on water in Kampong, Phluk. Imagine a town where front doors open straight onto the water. Kampong Phluk, in Cambodia's Tonle Sap Lake region, is no ordinary village. Here, homes rise on wooden stilts up to 8 meters tall. Why so high? Because Tonle Sap doesn't just flood a little. Every year during the rainy season, the lake swells to more than 5 times its dry season size. From November to April, the stilts stand bare, with dusty roads weaving between them. Chickens scratch at the dirt, children play beneath the houses. But when the rains arrive, the transformation is magical. Water creeps in, the roads vanish, and boats replace bicycles. Families paddle between homes, floating markets appear, and fishermen cast nets from their doorsteps. It's not just a clever adaptation, it's survival. Generations here have learned to live in rhythm with the flood pulse. Tourists who visit in different seasons often think they've seen 2 completely different villages. But it's the same Kampong Phluk. In a world battling rising seas, this community's resilience feels like a lesson from the future, hidden in plain sight on Cambodia's Great Lake. Number 11. Cambodians prefer gold over banks. In Cambodia, the most trusted bank doesn't have a building, staff, or even an account number. It's pure gold. Walk through any Cambodian market, and you'll see glitter everywhere. Gold necklaces, bracelets, and rings stacked high in shop windows. But these aren't just for decoration. For millions of Cambodians, gold is their savings account. Many people, especially in rural areas, don't fully trust banks or prefer to avoid complicated paperwork and fees. Gold is simple: buy it, keep it, and when times get tough, sell it. This tradition has deep roots. Gold is a symbol of wealth and good fortune, often gifted during weddings and New Year celebrations. It's also portable. Families can move their wealth easily during emergencies, which is important in a country that's seen political instability in the past. Interestingly, the designs aren't always about fashion. Jewelry is made in standard weights so it can be quickly valued and sold at any gold shop. And because gold prices usually rise over time, many Cambodians see it as a safer and more reliable investment than cash in the bank. So in Cambodia, a person wearing lots of gold isn't just showing off, they might be carrying their life savings around their neck. Number 10. Ghostly beauty marks. In some remote Cambodian communities, beauty wasn't just admired, it was honored with something mysterious and permanent: tiny spirit tattoos. These weren't flashy designs or modern ink trends. They were subtle marks, often just a small dot or delicate pattern placed on the face, neck, or hands. Given only to women considered both exceptionally beautiful and deeply virtuous, they symbolized more than appearance. They were spiritual endorsements. Elders and monks believed these marks carried blessings and protection, keeping evil spirits and misfortune away. The tattoos were applied using natural pigments, sometimes mixed with herbs or even gold dust, and the process involved ritual prayers. To the wearer, it was an honor, like wearing a crown, but one that no thief could steal. Over time, the practice faded. Urbanization, changing beauty standards, and modern religious influences slowly replaced the tradition. Today, only a handful of elderly women still bear these marks, living testaments to a belief system where beauty and morality were inseparable. What if your looks and your character could earn you a spiritual seal of approval, one you'd carry for life? In Cambodia, that's exactly what happened. These mysterious beauty marks weren't cosmetic, they were blessings carved into the skin. Number 9. Traditional Cambodian weddings. In Cambodia, weddings aren't just a one-day event. They're a full cultural spectacle that can last up to 3 days. And each day is packed with rituals that mix ancient tradition with symbolic blessings. Imagine a wedding where you don't just say "I do," but also get your hair trimmed for good luck and have your wrists tied with red threads to seal your happiness. One of the most iconic parts of a Cambodian wedding is the haircutting ceremony, called Gat Sa. The couple sits together while symbolic hair is gently cut, representing the removal of past misfortunes and a fresh start for married life. Then comes the red thread blessing, where family and friends tie red threads around the couple's wrists while offering wishes for prosperity and health. As night falls, there's the welcoming good luck ritual, often at midnight. It's believed that this is when positive spirits are most receptive, so prayers and offerings are made to attract happiness and fortune. Throughout it all, there's music, dancing, lavish costumes, and an endless feast. Because in Cambodia, a wedding isn't just about two people. It's about uniting families, honoring ancestors, and celebrating life itself. It's an unforgettable blend of pageantry, spirituality, and joy that makes Cambodian weddings unlike anything you've ever seen. Number 8. Rice wine with snakes and scorpions, believed to give vitality, not for the faint of heart. In Cambodia, cheers can sometimes mean staring into a jar where a snake is coiled like it's guarding treasure. Only the treasure is alcohol. Snake wine, and its equally daring cousin, scorpion wine, is made by soaking these creatures in rice wine for weeks or even months. Locals believe the infusion draws out the animal's vital energy, creating a drink that boosts strength, stamina, and even, let's say, manly confidence. The tradition is rooted in ancient Chinese medicine, which traveled into Cambodia centuries ago. Over time, it became more than a tonic. It's now also a test of courage for travelers. Many shops and roadside stalls display bottles like trophies, filled with cobras, vipers, or large black scorpions, their fangs and stingers still intact. Drinking it isn't just about flavor, because truth be told, it's more about the experience than the taste. Some swear it's smooth, others say it burns like fire mixed with adrenaline. And while many locals enjoy it as a health booster, most tourists try it for bragging rights, and a photo that makes their friends squirm. It's definitely not your typical happy hour drink, but in Cambodia, it's a glass full of tradition, superstition, and a little bit of wild adventure. Number 7. The spider snacks of Skun. Deep-fried tarantulas as a crunchy delicacy. In the quiet Cambodian town of Skun, the streets aren't lined with typical snacks like popcorn or chips. Instead, you'll find trays piled high with deep-fried tarantulas. Yes, actual spiders, legs and all. Vendors pluck these hairy arachnids from buckets, toss them into sizzling oil with garlic and salt, and serve them up golden and crispy. The tradition began during the brutal years of the Khmer Rouge, when food was scarce and people had to survive on whatever they could find. Spiders became a source of protein, and over time, necessity turned into culinary tradition. Today, they're sold to locals and adventurous tourists alike, often costing less than a cup of coffee. Biting into one is an experience. The legs are crunchy like fried chicken skin, but the abdomen has a softer, almost creamy texture that can catch first-timers off guard. Locals say the flavor is mild, somewhere between crab and chicken, though the psychological hurdle is the real challenge. For Cambodians, it's more than shock value. It's a snack tied to resilience, resourcefulness, and cultural identity. So if you ever pass through Skun, you might just find yourself staring at a fried tarantula, wondering if you're brave enough to take a bite. Number 6. Apsara dance, the sacred cultural treasure. Imagine telling an entire story without saying a single word, just with your hands. The Apsara dance is one of Cambodia's most sacred cultural treasures, dating back over 1,000 years to the days of the Angkor Empire. Inspired by the celestial dancers carved into the walls of Angkor Wat, this art form isn't just entertainment. It's a living link to Cambodia's spiritual and royal history. Here's the fascinating part. Apsara dancers use over 1,500 symbolic hand gestures to express everything from blooming flowers to the movement of rivers. Each gesture holds meaning, often inspired by nature, myths, and ancient Khmer legends. It's like watching a visual poem unfold in slow, graceful motion. The dance was traditionally performed for kings and gods, often as a blessing or offering. Even today, dancers train for years to perfect the precise postures, flowing steps, and serene expressions that define the style. The costumes are equally breathtaking. Gold headdresses, shimmering silk skirts, and intricate jewelry that reflect Cambodia's royal artistry. After nearly disappearing during the Khmer Rouge era, Apsara dance has been revived and recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Watching it today isn't just a tourist experience, it's a glimpse into the soul of Cambodia, preserved in elegance and movement. Number 5. The Krung tribe's love huts. In most cultures, teenage girls sneaking off to see their boyfriends is frowned upon. But in this tribe, parents build them their own love nest. Deep in the Ratanakiri province of Cambodia lives the Krung tribe, where dating comes with a surprising twist. When a girl reaches her teenage years, her parents build her a small private hut, separate from the family home. Locals call these love huts, and they serve one purpose: giving young women the freedom to meet potential partners in private. Here's the fascinating part. The girl is the one in control. She can invite different young men to visit, get to know them, and decide for herself who she wants to marry. There's no rush and no pressure. This process can take months, even years. What might sound shocking to outsiders has a surprisingly positive result. Divorce is almost unheard of in Krung culture. Because women have the power to choose carefully, they enter marriage with someone they truly want, not someone chosen by tradition or family. It's a rare glimpse into a society where freedom, trust, and personal choice form the foundation of lifelong relationships. And for the Krung, it works brilliantly. Number 4. Pink curtains at the window. A splash of pink at a village window. And suddenly, everyone knows your daughter's relationship status. In rural Cambodia, some traditions don't need words. They speak through colors. One of the most unusual is the use of pink curtains at a home's front window. To an outsider, it might just look like a cheerful choice of fabric. But to locals, it's a quiet announcement. An unmarried daughter lives here. This custom works like an old-fashioned matchmaking signal. Pink is associated with youth, purity, and readiness for marriage. Families hang the curtain as a subtle invitation to potential suitors, signaling that their daughter is of marrying age. In small villages where everyone knows everyone, this simple detail can spread the news faster than social media. The tradition also comes with an unspoken set of rules. Once the daughter marries, the pink curtain comes down, sometimes replaced with a neutral color, marking the change in her status. It's a fascinating glimpse into how cultural codes can be hidden in everyday life. What looks like harmless home decor to travelers might actually be a centuries-old dating ad, fluttering in the breeze for the right eyes to notice. Sometimes the smallest details, like a pink curtain, can reveal the biggest stories about a place. Number 3. One of the world's greatest wonders. If you think Angkor Wat is just a big old temple, you're missing 99% of the story. This massive complex in Cambodia is the largest religious monument on Earth, stretching over 160 hectares. That's bigger than many small towns. Built in the early 12th century by King Suryavarman II, it was originally a Hindu temple dedicated to Vishnu before gradually transforming into a Buddhist site. The architecture is breathtaking. From the perfectly symmetrical towers to the intricate bas-reliefs that run for miles, telling stories of epic battles, ancient myths, and even everyday life from 900 years ago. And here's the mind-bender. The precision of its layout is so exact, some researchers believe the builders aligned it with celestial events like solstices and equinoxes. But Angkor Wat is only the headline. Surrounding it are hundreds of other temples hidden in the jungle, like Taprom, where massive tree roots wrap around crumbling stone walls, and Bayon with its 200 giant smiling faces carved into stone. Despite centuries of weather, invasions, and neglect, this wonder has survived, and many of its secrets remain unsolved. Why was it abandoned? How did they move those massive sandstone blocks without modern tools? Visiting Angkor isn't just sightseeing, it's stepping straight into a real-life mystery. Number 2, Cambodia's most famous festivals. Ever wondered what it's like when an entire country turns into one big street party? Cambodia celebrates some of the most colorful and unique festivals in Southeast Asia, and 3 of them stand out above the rest. First is Khmer New Year in April, a 3-day nationwide celebration marking the end of the harvest season. Streets fill with music, dancing, and epic water fights that feel like Cambodia's version of Songkran in Thailand. It's hot, chaotic, and absolutely unforgettable. Then there's Chum Ben, the Ancestor Festival, usually in September or October. For 15 days, Cambodians visit pagodas to make offerings of food and prayers for their ancestors' spirits. The air smells of incense, and the atmosphere is deeply spiritual, a quiet, moving contrast to the rowdy New Year celebrations. And finally, Bonom Tuk, the water festival, takes over Phnom Penh each November. It celebrates the reversal of the Tonle Sap River's flow, a rare natural phenomenon. Thousands gather by the riverside to watch traditional longboat races, fireworks, and concerts that light up the capital for 3 days straight. Each of these festivals isn't just about fun. They're a window into Cambodia's history, spirituality, and love of community. If you time your trip right, you won't just see Cambodia, you'll feel it. Number 1. Cost of living in Cambodia. Imagine living in a city where your monthly rent is less than what you'd spend on a weekend getaway back home. Cambodia has quietly become a haven for people looking for an affordable yet fulfilling lifestyle. In Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, or even coastal towns like Sihanoukville, you can rent a modern apartment for as little as $250, $400 a month. Utilities? Around $50. Eating out is not a luxury, it's a daily treat. A delicious plate of stir-fried noodles costs about $1.50, and a fancy dinner for 2 rarely passes the $20 mark. Transportation is equally budget-friendly. Tuk-tuk rides within the city often cost less than $2, and if you rent a motorbike, you'll spend around $50 a month on fuel and upkeep. Even healthcare and dental services here are surprisingly affordable, with many clinics catering to expats at a fraction of Western prices. But the savings don't mean sacrificing quality of life. You'll still enjoy vibrant nightlife, rich culture, beautiful temples, and a community of friendly locals and expats. Many foreigners find they can live comfortably in Cambodia on $800, $1,200 per month, a fraction of what they'd need back home, yet with far more sunshine and adventure. For those seeking a life that's both affordable and exciting, Cambodia might just be the best-kept secret in Southeast Asia. And that's just one reason Cambodia is catching the attention of expats and travelers worldwide. But I'm curious, would you trade your current lifestyle for a lower cost of living in exchange for new adventures? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one.